Now I'd like to introduce Claressa. Claressa, in her last fight, has fought in the biggest fight in women's boxing history and put on forth a tremendous performance. She really could have fought anywhere else. We had offers from big venues in Las Vegas, in New York, in Atlantic City, and all throughout the country. But Claressa made it her point to come back to Flint to give this fight back to the fans and the community that she grew up in. I wanted to list some of her accomplishments, even though I know that most of you know them. She is 9-0 with 2 KOs, just turning pro 3 years ago, and will be representing her town of Flint, Michigan, on October 5th. She's the first American boxer, male or female, in the history of the sport to win 2 Olympic gold medals. She became the 6th fight in history, male or female, to unify all 4 major world titles in one weight class. She defeated Christina Hammer in the previous fight in April. Claressa Shields has accomplished a lot in her life in boxing and as a humanitarian, as a role model, but she will be shooting the first on October 5th because it will be the first time that she's going to be fighting as a professional in her hometown of Flint, Michigan. Claressa?
What's up? Hey, everybody.
So,
Hello?
first of all, talk about your training camp and how you prepare for this fight, and then we'll have the media ask you some questions.
So you want me to tell? So what you asking me? You saying like what did I do this camp?
Talk about your training camp, getting down in weight, your preparation.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why weight is such a big. Weight is not a conversation that I want to have. I don't have a problem with my weight. If I did, I wouldn't have chose to go down to 154 and to accept this challenge. So weight is not a problem. Just this camp, every camp we just want to be a better version of myself. So of course, me and Coach John studied the Hammer fight, and we just want to fix all our mistakes. And I know people on here are like, "How many mistakes did you make during the Hammer fight?" A lot, even though it was a unanimous decision and I beat her almost every round. It was still stuff that me and my coach seen that we want to fix going into the fight with Ivana. She has faster hands than Hammer. She coming from a lower weight class. She's more comfortable at 154, and of course I'm losing weight. So we just really want to get the knockout, and we've seen a lot of the stuff that we did up in the Hammer fight. We just want to correct that. So the combinations were good. The jab was good against Hammer. We just been working a lot on just making sure that we turn our shots over, making sure that we be patient with our shots, and make sure that we just have more precision for this camp. So it's been a hard camp. My body is kind of torn apart right now, 2 weeks from the fight. But one more hard week of training, and then the last week I get the wind down. So right now I feel really great.
Good. We'd like to open up to the media now.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please dial *1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions, please dial *1 on your telephone keypad. All right, our first question is going to come from Keith Idek with BoxingScene.com. Keith, your line is now open.
Hey, Claressa, I was just wondering, you've obviously shown a tremendous chin during your career, and she said she's going to knock you out. I was just wondering what you made of that.
She's going to say a whole lot of stuff. I think that she just, like if she called me fat, I think she's just trying to say stuff to sell the fight. I don't think none of these girls in boxing feel like they can knock me out. And I do have a hell of a chin, and I like to go in there and test girls' chin and everything like that. So I respect that she's, coming with that kind of attitude, but no, it's not even possible to knock me out. I've never been, I may have been dropped by Hannah Gabriels, but that was a shot with me all balanced. It wasn't something that hit my chin and then I went down and I was woozy or nothing like that. I've never been stunned by a woman nor a man. So Ivana just talking.
Okay. Did you happen to, I'm sure you have throughout the course of getting ready for this fight, you saw her fight with Cecilia Brækhus?
Yeah.
But what did you think of, I know she didn't come close to winning that fight necessarily, but what did you see from her in that fight that impressed you, and without giving away your game plan, maybe some of the things that you weren't impressed by?
I mean, I think just the whole fight with her and Cecilia Brækhus was pretty hard to watch, just to be honest. It was a whole bunch of bouncing around. They both were off balance when they threw their shots. Ivana likes to put her head down and just throw punches. You know what I mean? Whenever she feels like she's in danger, she just go into a straight broad mode and put her head down and start swinging. And Celia had a really good jab against her that fight. And really just overpowered her, to be honest. And I kind of feel like toward the end of the round, Ivana kind of started fading and doing a whole lot of holding and ducking and swinging and stuff like that. But early on, she tried to stand her ground and use her combinations. But it's not nothing that I haven't seen before. And I know for a fact I'm a lot stronger than Cecilia Brackett. So Ivana's going to have a lot of problems on her hand come October 5th.
Claressa, I know you can't go into fights looking for knockouts, obviously, but how satisfying would it be to get this knockout in your hometown, and what would be a history-making performance for you?
You know what? I just kind of feel like it's not so much about the knockout; it's about improvement to me. A knockout is great, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I want to go in there and I want to look phenomenal. I want to be sharp. I want to work on everything that I worked on in camp and be able to execute it in a fight. So I'm not going out there looking for the knockout, but I know that it's going to come just because of how training has been going, how I've been hurting my sparring partners with body shots and head shots. And I'm not even, and I'm doing this coming down in weight, and my body is sore as hell. You know what I mean? It's sore as hell. I'm breaking my body down, and it's kind of and it's getting stronger as I break it down, and I can still go in there and box 10 to 8 rounds and be strong, fast, and be able to do everything that I want to do and let my combinations go and let my hard body shots and hard head shots go and still be explosive towards the end of the round. So just knowing that, I feel like the knockout is going to come. But I'm not going to go out there trying to rush it. I just want it to come. So I want to go out there and do everything I did and that I've been working on in camp, and I believe everything shall come together.
Based on what you said earlier in the call, Claressa, were you happy with your performance against Christina Hammer?
You know what? I'm my biggest critic. I'm sorry. Like, that fight, I was happy I became undisputed champion, but when I went back and watched the fight, I made so many mistakes. I was like, ugh, cut it off. Like, I'm just like, I'm over it. You know what I mean? Like, I did really well, but it's still just like, why didn't you get the knockout? Why were you, not sitting on your shots when you should have sat on your shot? And, just stuff like that for me. And that's just, I've always been super hard on myself. So I give myself maybe a B- for that fight. But I want to get an A. I want to do everything right in the fight, including getting a knockout. And I feel like I was just destroying Hammer every round, destroying her. And I took her confidence away from her, and I hurt her. But it's still just like with me, I made some mistakes, and she caught me with not even a whole lot of shots, but just the fact that she caught me with shots that I shouldn't have got hit with, stuff like that. But that's just me being my biggest critic and me wanting to get better. So everybody else probably like, that was the best fight that we've ever seen, and your defense was on point. But I've been knowing I could do all that stuff. I've been knowing that I had defense. I've been knowing that I could jab. I know what I could do. I just want to do it the best way that I know I can.
Claressa, when you said before, I just said cut it off. Did you ever actually watch the whole thing from beginning to end?
With me and Christina Hammer?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, yeah. I watched that fight like 40, 50 times already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. I watched it 40, 50 times, and each time I watched it, I seen a different mistake. And it wasn't something huge like big mistakes, but it still was just like that right there shouldn't happen because we worked on that in camp, and it wasn't a whole bunch, but it was just like, just stuff that I see that maybe you guys don't see.
Okay, great. Thanks for your time, Claressa.
You're welcome.
All right, our next question comes from David Avella with PrizeFighters.com. David, your line is now open.
Hi, this is David Avila. Claressa, do you feel that maybe if they changed the rounds from 2 minutes to 3 minutes, you would have had about 3 or 4 more knockouts?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, too, that the judges are, not the judges, but the refs are super hard on me when it, comes to the fights. Because I can be in there destroying the girl and feel like they will not call the fight. I can go back and look at the fight where I fought against Cindy LeBlanc. I put her through 8 rounds of hell, and they just let her take that beating. And and it destroyed her as a fighter. I mean, she hasn't won a fight since I beat her. And she came into the fight, me and her, she came down from heavyweight fighting at 168. And, I mean, I destroyed her from the first bell of the first round to the last bell of the eighth. And, I mean, she never even landed more than 10 punches on me the whole fight, and they didn't even call it. So it's like with the 3 minutes, I will have a lot more time to break the girls down and be able to get them out of there, because I've heard every girl that I've fought. But then as soon as that 2 minutes ring and it's the end of the round and they get that 1 minute rest, they come back in, you know, recuperated and ready to go to the next round. So you have to kind of start all over again. But with it being 2 minutes, I just got to, I guess, pick up the pace until they actually see that women's boxing needs to be the same as the men, or at least give us 3 minutes a round, you know, so we can have the same amount of work time.
Would that be a goal of yours to possibly push the 3 minute rounds for one of your future fights?
Yeah, absolutely. I would. Me and my team have been going over it. We're just trying to figure out what's the best way to go to the organizations about it. We don't know if we want to go over and tell them, hey, maybe we could start off with 10 3-minute rounds, or maybe we can start off with 12 2-minute rounds. We just still been trying to figure it out and trying to go the best way to where it's safe for the other world champions also, and see what they agree with. And I'm going to have a talk with all the girls who are world champions and kind of like have a vote on what they want to do, because it's not just about me. I want it to be about the other women too, and what they're comfortable with. And I think that they need to understand that women will always get paid less than the men unless we fight the same amount of time. So with that, one of the changes got to be made, either 12 2-minute rounds or 10 3-minute rounds, and just get that out the way for right now. And then we can focus on, you know, down the line, 3 12-minute rounds, or, you know, the same as the men. So, you know, I think that one of those has to change within this year to get us on a road to equal pay and equal opportunity as far as getting the big knockouts that we can get.
Another thing I wanted to ask you is regarding testing. I know that now they're starting to test using VADA testing, and I know you've been doing it since you were in the Olympics, so it's nothing new for you. But do you feel that this is necessary? Have you ever fought somebody that you thought might be using when you fought them as a pro?
You said, do I think anybody was using who might have been a pro?
Yeah, that you fought against that might have been, you know, wasn't tested.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I wanted VADA testing for Hammer. For some reason, we didn't have it for that fight. We only had it the night before and just our pregnancy test or whatever. But I wanted testing for that fight, but we didn't get it. I'm happy we got the VADA testing for this fight. But I think every world champion should be due to VADA testing, especially after Mia St. John came out talking about she was on PEDs her whole career and all this crazy mess. I think that every world champion, male and female, should be open to do VADA testing because it's just safer for the boxers. And I think that that's just clean. I mean, I've always been a clean athlete. And, I mean, I'm not going to say who I think do PEDs or who I think don't. I mean, I really don't know. I hate to have to spill people's business out there because I don't know. I mean, people probably think I do PEDs, but I'm just strong as hell and work my ass off.
Okay, then. Well, thank you very much, Claressa.
No problem.
All right. Our next question comes from Jeremy Harridges with Fansided.com. Jeremy, your line is now open.
Hi, Claressa. Thank you again for talking with us. You've accomplished so much in your career already in 9 fights. What do you think you need to accomplish in order to be deemed the best female boxer of all time?
I think I've already accomplished everything to be the best female boxer of all time. But I think that some of the fans or media people may feel like, you know, you have to have 25 and 30 fights to be compared to Layla Ali and Ann Wolfe. So I'm just taking my time and racking up the belts and racking up the divisions and making history. But to me, I'll always be the GOAT, you know, and nobody's ever going to make me feel different about that unless somebody comes and beat me. And that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to keep breaking records and doing what no other woman has done. If I feel great at 154, maybe we'll stay at 154 and try to become undisputed there. And if, and then if not, maybe I'll just do title defenses at 160. But either or, I'm always going to go where the best fights are at, the toughest fighters are at, and try to make the most money.
In 9 fights time, you've fought a lot of really quality opponents, whether we're talking about Hammer, Rankin, Gabriels, Nelson. Do you think in 9 fights that you've acquired a better resume than all the other female boxers in the sport?
Definitely. I mean, and let's not just talk about the female boxers, the male boxers too. The male boxers have people who they fighting, and their record is literally padded up till they get about 20-0, right? 20, 15-0, and they got padded records against easy opponents. I mean, I haven't fought against a person who's had a losing record ever in my pro career. I think somebody did the math for me, and it was like 125 wins and 7 losses with all my opponents together. So just to be able to say that it's been 9 fights, what other boxer, male or female, can you say fought fighters like that? I haven't fought against a fighter who has a losing record yet.
Mm-hmm. Talking about that, again, a lot of people are starting to disassociate the idea of men's boxing, women's boxing, and just talking about boxing all the way around. Would you like to fight some male fighters in the future if you had the opportunity?
It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I feel like right now I'm just in a fight with women's boxing right now, trying to get us equal pay. I don't feel like I should have to fight a man in order for us to be taken as serious athletes. You know what I mean? I feel like you're not going to ask a male, oh, do you want to fight a woman? You know what I mean? So I feel like if it's vice versa. But like I said before, I've gotten in the ring with plenty of men. I've sparred 16 rounds this week with men, 4 different sparring partners. I can get in there with guys, and I know I can hold my own. And I know when it comes down to handling my business, I've never been knocked out, stunned, dropped, or anything like that. So I don't really think there's a difference between women and male fighters. I mean, I feel like it's all about preparation. If you feel like if you have to get ready to fight against, if I had to be ready to fight against a male, I would change up my whole training. I think I train hard as hell now, but to get ready for a man, I would definitely up it. And I think I have a great team who would make sure that I'm at my strongest, that I'm explosive, that my legs are strong and my muscles are strong, and that I feel like men have better body endurance than women. And I say that because they've been fighting so long for so many more rounds and minutes than women just throughout my whole career. Like, even in the amateurs, we boxed 4 2-minute rounds, and the men did 3 3-minute rounds. And now in the pros, I've only boxed 10 2-minute rounds, and men who are world champions have fought 12 3-minute rounds for I don't know how long. So when you have that, they just have a better body endurance than I think women do. But I think it's all about the preparation.
Thank you so much, Claressa, and best of luck.
All right, our next question comes from Carlos Toro with Fightful. Carlos, your line is now open.
Thank you, Claressa, for taking time to talk to us. Hope you're doing well. So my first question is, I'm looking, this fight is obviously your first pro bout in Flint, Michigan, and I'm surprised, admittedly, I'm a little surprised you haven't had one sooner into your career. I just wanted to ask, what does fighting in front of your hometown fans mean to you, especially with all that you've accomplished? And did you think that you would get this homecoming fight sooner in your career or later in your career?
No, I feel like that the fight came at the right time. I wanted to be super accomplished when I went back home to Flint, and that's just because I wanted the kids to see that, I like that I'm from Flint, Michigan, and I've accomplished all this, and I'm not waiting to the end of my career to come back to Flint. I'm coming back to Flint in the peak of my career. I'm coming back while I'm a world champion, while I'm an undisputed champion, while I'm breaking records. I'm bringing a fight back to Flint. And I feel like me becoming a 3-time division world champion, the fastest boxer to do so in 10 fights, beating Lomachenko's record, I feel like that was a perfect fight to bring back to Flint while we have, all this water crisis stuff going on. I just feel like, right now was the right time to just inspire the city and inspire the kids.
Is this fight, being your first at 154 pounds, or is it your first world title fight at that weight class? Is this sort of the start of a journey to maybe try to do the same as you did at 160 and unify the entire division, or is this sort of a one-time deal at 154 and then move back up to middleweight?
I don't really know yet. I feel like it really depends on how I feel during the fight. I feel great right now. I've been feeling great in camp. I've been eating healthy and dropping the weight the way that I'm supposed to. I've been hydrated. So it's just all about, going into the fight, actually touching 154, getting on the scale and getting in the ring. So I won't know till what I'm going to do till after the fight.
All right. Thanks, Claressa, and best of luck on October the 5th.
Thank you.
Okay, and our final question comes from Gail Falkenthal with Communities Digital News. Gail, your line is now open.
Thank you. Hey, Claressa, it's about time you get a question from a female reporter. At least we got one in. You have been in the limelight from a very young age. You have put yourself in the position of being a role model. You're outspoken. You don't pull punches with your words. But there comes a lot of pressure along with responsibility in that role. And how do you handle that? You have your good days, your bad days, and how does that impact your performance in the sport, also having another really big visible job as a role model?
I'm only 24 years old, and, with social media and everything, I think that women's boxing have been quiet long enough. I feel like the reason we haven't got our dues is because we haven't spoken up enough about it. I feel like there were women who did speak up about it, but they spoke up about it in the wrong way. Like they just, came at people the wrong way, and it's more of like, I got the skills to pay the bills. I got the power to knock people over. And I'm not just talking trash. Like I really go in there and try to do it. I really just try to go in there and do whatever I say. And I feel like I've been putting on performances that even men aren't putting on. So I don't really feel the need to have to be quiet and have to be whatever they call ladylike. Like I'm a lady and I'm an outspoken lady and I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that makes me sleep good at night. The day that you hear me not talking, something's wrong. So I'm gonna keep doing what I want to do. As far as me being a role model, I feel like I'm a great role model. Like, you don't see me in the newspaper talking about, like, killing nobody or going to jail. I haven't been arrested. You don't see me drinking. You don't see me drinking and I don't smoke. So I feel like I'm a great role model. And I just try to tell everybody, like, be who they are. Like, don't try to pretend to be something that you're not for social media or for the cameras. Like, be who you are, and you'll always be able to. You'll never have to keep lying about who you're not. So, me being comfortable with myself is just being who I am and doing what I'm most comfortable doing. And I feel like I'm being a great role model by doing that, because there's a lot of girls who look up to me and they say, you being so confident makes me confident. So why would I stop being confident?
Well, congratulations to you. Best of luck in your homecoming fight, and we'll see you on October 5th.
Okay.
Thank you. We have more? Chris?
At this time, there are no other questions in queue.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody from the media for showing up. Again, this was Claressa's decision to fight in Flint, Michigan. She is the most significant social figure in the sport of boxing, man or woman, and she's a true role model. She lives in Michigan. She's trained there, and all the kids and all the people of this of the city that's gone through a lot of challenges will be able to see Claressa fighting live on Showtime, one of the greatest sporting events in Michigan history. And the fight, the televised portion, again, is going to start 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Will be opened up with a heavyweight from Saginaw, Michigan, Jermaine Franklin, taking on Powell Sauer. And in the co-main event, the very popular Jerron Ennis is going to return to Showtime. He's going to fight Damian Fernandez from Argentina. That fight was finalized and announced today. And in the main event, Claressa Shields is going to look to make history and fight for the junior middleweight world title against former world champion Ivana Habazin. So thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you guys on October 5th.